Yes, sir, ski. Hell is you doing? Hell is you pursuing, man? How's your heart doing? How you sleep last night? You already know what's going on. It's your favorite. Mufa coming in. How's your heart doing today? You checking in. I'm sorry, Mufa. Yeah, man. I had to come on, man. It's a Friday. It's my day. It's a beautiful day. Beautiful day to be seen. Beautiful day to touch in. We also checking in on Instagram Live on my page at Sophisticate. We just want to go ahead and yeah, be seen and talk that talk because we walking the walk. So I got to talk the talk when I'm walking the walk. You feel what I'm saying? This practice has been blessing my life in this season of solitude, in this season of deep transformation and spirit working with me, working on me. As y'all see, my baby girl in the back, man, is my personal altar, my little Ori situation over here. You know what I'm saying? I love to bring folks in, and I'm just excited, man, using the tools that I got to be able to express, this flow from spirit. For those of y'all who are new here, my name is Mufa. For those of y'all that know me, I go by Foo Foo Foo. In real life, y'all know what's going on. I'm a psycho spiritualist, social design expert, so to speak. My goal in life is to create safe spaces for my people to live, work, and play, and be their best self. So that is what's reflected in this platform. You know what I'm saying? I just want to give y'all a more intimate look and view into what life look like. And tonight, we've been keeping it short and sweet. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, I got these goddamn mosquitoes, so many fits, bugs. But yeah, man, we've been coming on and we have been really touching on the messages from spirit in this season. Spirit has been spiriting, spirit has been really breaking down some things to us as it relates to the condition of our people as I look at my condition, my personal condition. Um it's been a very transformative week, man. I have been in a space of really looking in the mirror, seeing myself, sitting with, as I've been discussing, just a season of transition and pivoting. And tonight, I kind of want to touch on for a little bit, what it means to be a black man, black man, black man, black man. Black man living in America, going through a time where a lot of us are being challenged as it relates to our identity, as it relates to the fragile roots that we have. And I say fragile for a reason because I don't believe that the soil that is America is really ready or ripe for the harvest, as it relates to what it means for us to grow. I talk to my clients a lot about, is the space that you're in conducive for your growth? So I really kind of challenge and put that question out there to kind of set the tone for what, the next couple of minutes gonna be. Just touching on what it means to be a black man in a space where we've been given this limited ass definition of masculinity. This week, yeah, man, my dream space be some serious, dog. And some of the dreams that I've been having have related to, you know, um, old friends, old environment, social circles that, in that space for me, I'm assuming they're safe because it's familiar faces. It's people who I grew up with. It's folks that I call my partner, my boy. In these dreams, I'm getting met with nothing but hostility. I'm getting met with, what I'm saying, motherfuckers really, one of my dream, one of my partners started shooting at me. Nigga done chased me about the hood. And I'm over here flabbergasted. My God, my flabbers are gasted. Like, these are spaces that, my spirit feels like a home. But as I'm getting just the revelation and sitting with, this new space, this new radicalized version of what I know to be safety now, having been rooted in the margins, having been radicalized to my own need and sense of care, I think, the spirit is really trying to, convey to me a message of, what does it look like for you to release and let go of the performance? You did what I'm saying? And that's kind of what I want to talk about tonight a little bit. Just black man in the performance prison. Like a lot of us being in the presence of performance to a version of masculinity that ain't got shit to do with our divinity. That ain't got shit to do with our higher self, ain't got shit to do with our Ori. It is a perversion of what I believe the creator intended for us to experience here on earth as we work with the feminine. And I do my best. I went to school a couple of years ago to a sex therapy school, and for me as a clinician, I those of y'all that know my story, you know my story. But if you don't, it was I was raised in in layman's terms, I was raised in a school of not shit, and I say that in terms of being in that space of the popular crowd, the hood niggas, the street niggas, the gangsters, you know what I'm saying? Them being my best friends and the folks that I ran with in school. Um, you get conditioned to a version of masculinity that sees you constantly trying to prove yourself as it relates to um as it relates to your capacity to conquer. And in a very limited sense, it's not even about conquering self, which is really the goal of this whole human experience, is to understand and master self. Is to conquer those things around you. It's to conquer women. It's to conquer children. It's to conquer this thing we call capitalism, unfettered capitalism, like my auntie Gail told me. um, is to conquer the land, right? It ain't even to be in relationship with with your environment as much as it is to be over it and to conquer it and to bend it according to your will. So I sit with, what it meant for me to grow up already feeling like I wasn't black enough, being raised on the south side of Atlanta, but being born fully, what I'm saying, Fulton County shouted, Georgia Baptist shouting, 285 shouted, and still raised with this idea that I wasn't enough. Still raised with the idea that me being intelligent, me being in the gifted program, me having a radicalized idea of what it means to be a caretaker, radicalized idea of poverty, being that I'm first generation African American in this land, and having all of these, this global perspective around my station in life. It was a lot, and I come on here to really discuss these things because I don't know, being a hood nigga is not the cool shit. Being a nigga that was raised, doing like it's become a thing where there's a lot of niggas, and I'm not saying this from a place of pride because I'm saying it from a place of like radical honesty. Like I can't throw away how I was raised. I can't throw away how I was conditioned. And in real time, it's so many things that for a lot of us in some of the wrongs that we've committed, if you do the work and are able to grab the wisdom from it, that is also to your divinity, right? So I'm not gonna throw away the fact that I was outside. I ain't gonna throw away the fact that I was in shootouts, at 15, 16 years old, and was frontline with the bullshit, gang shit, because that radical awareness allows me now the space to denounce a lot of this behavior and to speak directly to this performance that a lot of you niggas, I don't think oftentimes have the capacity to really, what I'm saying, hit in the mouth like that. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing to talk around this shit and to be like, okay, well, you know, I don't know. I just see a lot of intellectualizing of the masculine experience. And then on the back end, you just see a lack of, yeah, just frontline shit, man. Call a spade a spade. You feel what I'm saying? Call the thing the thing. And oftentimes, I just feel like it's some of that shame around what it means to be a warrior for the good things that prevents a lot of my peers and a lot of niggas I grew up with from standing in the margins and protecting those that need protecting. So I don't know. Tonight I really wanted to touch on some shit around, how my dream space, how, spirit has been aligning things in my life, putting me in spaces where I'm reminded of, my desire for mentorship. I was 17 years old when I went to HBCU in Alabama, on full football scholarship. And I just remember, as a sophomore, true sophomore, pledging a fraternity. And my whole purpose for doing this shit really was to gain some type of mentorship, some type of brotherhood, right? To understand what it meant for me to look at someone my senior and be like, you know what? That's an example. That's a model of blackness, of black masculinity that I think I want to emulate, that I want to, you know what I'm saying, I want to replicate for my life. And I'm not gonna lie to you, if I was on here bullshitting and just going along with the performance prison, I'll be goddamn, screaming, yeah, cute sci-fi and rude to the cues and all this and the third. When in reality, man, I ain't been proud of the bros in over a decade. I ain't been proud of the bros in a long time, dog. You know what I'm saying? I'm '08, my nigga. Like, I'm about to be 17 years in this motherfucking fraternity. Like, and especially Ibaye told new man, Caleb Wilson, but like, it's some things that really disturb a nigga. And I'm not no stranger to calling this shit out. I'm not no stranger to talking about it. I just feel like today has been a reminder of why the path less traveled for me has been so fulfilling and transformative, while at the same time being filled with those moments of loneliness and isolation that have you really leaning on nobody but spirit, because I'm not getting that validation from my peers. You know what I'm saying? I'm not having a lot of my partners walking with me in this season of spirit of God, really like doing a thing with my heart, doing a thing with my discernment, with my intuition, with my spiritual gifts. It's not a lot of niggas around, John. And I'm saying this shit with so much passion, because if you know me, you know I was the life of the motherfucking party. I was the party in the favors, nigga. I was, you feel what I'm saying? Like, I've been the socialite. I've been most popular nigga. I've been big man on campus. I've been doing that shit at least since high school, nigga. At least since high school. And into post college, where I created a platform and soul sessions and conversation parties and was in leadership and was, what I'm saying, popping my shit at a time when a lot of young black people weren't necessarily confident enough to, like, talk to these white folks and say, hey man, get what, we need better. You feel what I'm saying? So I come on here popping my shit because I done did this shit in real life. And I don't need, I just said some shit on my stories earlier. Like, for all the ways motherfuckers is dressing this up, dress it up and make it real for me, whatever that fucking mean. I feel like these niggas is dressing this shit up and they not making this shit real. They not coming with the radical honesty about how this shit ain't nothing but a performance. And as somebody who's been in private practice, as a psychotherapist, psychospiritualist for the past 8 years at least, it has really dawned on me that niggas are in prison. And the performance is what will be the death of us if we don't radically abandon this shit. If we don't radically challenge and question what we're doing, how we're moving, and where we're fucking going. The fragile ass ways in which we show up on the internet, and I think about just little shit, right? Because it start with the jokes. It start with the what we call culture. You know what I'm saying? I say young nigga as opposed to YN because, like, I talk like that in real life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I consider myself a young nigga. Like, so it's a young nigga word. I say that shit all the time. But the idea for us of, especially this pause shit, like, everything I tell a nigga all the time, man, don't say pause when I'm talking, nigga. You can't pause me, nigga. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck is pause anyway? Right? So to be gay, to be homosexual seems to be the worst ever thing a nigga can do, at first ever thing a nigga can be. And I'm just sitting with this shit that motherfuckers don't care who's being hurt as long motherfuckers don't care about motherfuckers don't care about who's perpetuating violence and who's abusing motherfuckers, as long as the abuse is catered to a woman. And I'm gonna try to get my words around that shit. Hopefully that shit makes sense as I'm breaking it down, because it's like there's a certain socially acceptable line of fuck shit as it relates to masculinity, as it relates to identity, as it relates to how we show up. That would say, like, yeah, you can be, no, that's what I said. Motherfucker don't care about your deviance as long as your deviance is straight. As long as you stepping on women, motherfucker don't give a damn, right? But to like to be in a space Where like with Diddy, it's like the only reason why motherfuckers feel some type of way is because there was a homoerotic tone or nature of these allegations. Is because it wasn't just women he was stepping on and fucking over. It was also men. So to think and sit with how fucked up and how fragile we have, how far we have fallen from the grace of God, right? To sit with as powerful as we say we are, that we really are relegating ourselves to a perversion of masculinity. These white folks don't give a fuck about they women. Like these white men specific, they don't give a fuck about femininity. Do you not see what the fuck is going on in this White House? Do y'all not see what the fuck is going on in the world? Like, and I'm talking about femininity. I ain't talking about. I'm not talking about gender or the construct, right? Because they trying to erase the idea of the reality that it's a construct. They trying to say this shit is just facts, right? It's science, my nigga. But again, science according to who? Science according to what scholar? Science according to what paradigm, right? You know, I'm reading and going back into my African psychology books and realizing like, yeah, everything that we know as science has been pretty much structured by whiteness, right? So what does it mean for us as black folks to not have whiteness as the litmus test, to not have whiteness as the standard of the definition of what it means for us to be human? And I think the performance, man, when I think about this shit, it's like they can't even get through a conversation without something being a joke about homoeroticism or niggas saying pause at every fucking thing, everything being a threat to your identity and your masculinity, man. That shit, man, that's and it's wild to be in a relationship and to be in a relationship with queer people, with gay folks, with trans folks, and to understand like if you gonna talk down on some shit, talk down on that shit. If you gonna call some shit gay, you gonna call and again, gay. If you gonna say derogatory, it's like nigga, nah, not we ain't talking about who you fucking. We talking about the whole shit. Like you know what I'm saying? That's the whole shit. That's the the duck ass shit, right? As it relates to what it means for every single thing to be a threat to your identity. Every single thing you do. You know, I went to school and I learned that eroticism was simply your capacity to experience your full range of emotions. The your capacity to fully be in engrossed and really, integrated into your human experience and to feel that, to challenge that, to question that, to stretch your limits, to stretch your boundaries as it relates to how you feel and how that feeling influences and also impacts how you see yourself. Right. And for me, it was a journey that really started in grad school, man, where I knew that for me to service and to be a healer for all of my people, I had to touch on this internalized homophobia, this internalized anti-blackness, this shit that was really a byproduct of the environment that I was in, and really ain't had shit to do with my divinity, right? To be in spaces where I'm having conversations with feminine presenting individuals who, were, again, assigned male at birth, but were very much trans women and very much in a space for me where I had to understand, like, okay, this shit is real. To have conversations with folks who are like, bro, why would I choose to be abused and be outed by my family and to be thrown away and this, that, and the third, which for me, as a healer, gave space for me to ask questions and interrogate my own queerness and deviance, right? And not, again, who I'm romantically involved with, who I'm sexually attracted to or romantically attracted to. Nah, it was the deviance from socially acceptable behavior, the deviance from socially acceptable norms. Like I had been disowned by my mama for less, my nigga, for getting my ears pierced, for wanting to get tattoos, for wanting to be anything but an evangelical Christian. So to sit with someone's reality where it's like, oh, I get it. This is just deviance in real time. And for somebody who was introduced to sex via orgies and some of the most homoerotic shit in the world, is really something to sit with, like, oh, okay, it makes sense, but we won't question that. We won't question the behaviors that look like us again, dominating women, right? Being in a space where we're over women, being in a space where we're conquering women, being in a space where we're doing harm to women. That's socially acceptable. Like, nigga, fuck you. Like, that's a prison. And for all of y'all, and for a lot of the men that I see performing this shit who also at the same time call themselves girls' dads or have, feminine children, it really for me as somebody who, is attempting and working to raise my feminine child in a space that says, hey, we don't speak down to somebody's lived experience. We don't punch down using these really white ass labels to say, oh, that's gay, oh, that's this, or that's that. I had to be honest with y'all, man. My girl, my daughter told me some of the boys at her school. Now, mind you, these the same boys that when I walk in that bitch, they running up behind me. Oh, Mr. Food, Mr. Food, you know what I'm saying? You got some candy, woo, woo, woo. Talking shit, you know what I'm saying? I done played at the playground with them playing football and shit. These same boys asked my daughter, is your daddy gay? And she told me this shit maybe a week or two ago. And I said, baby, why would they ask you that? She said, yeah, because they was like, you got hoop earrings and you wear a colorful necklace. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, this the colorful necklace, right? And my daughter was just I could tell she wasn't stunned that shit. And I was just like, well, baby, I said, no, I said, and if I was gay, there wouldn't be nothing wrong with that. If that was the case, like, yeah, at the end of the day, these are the same boys that unfortunately only have a version of masculinity that they're privy to, right? Because I'm colorful, because I'm articulate, right? Let's look at what we're denoting as feminine, right? And not even denoting as feminine, but putting down and stepping on in a way that is in some way we've been conditioned to see all things feminine as an attack on our masculinity, when in reality, most of you niggas was raised by women and your daddy was down the street fucking off and said, fuck you. Raise your hand if your daddy was down the street and said, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? Raise your hand if you was raised by women that was doing the masculine work and the feminine work, right? So you don't see nothing wrong with that. But you do see something wrong with the emotions of your father abandoning you and him not regulating himself to actually show up for you. So you'll have more grace for that and you'll align with that performance versus question and push back up against his perversion, right? All I'm saying is we can do better, dog. That's all I'm saying. I've been sitting in this space of just real deep, reminiscing and sitting with my relationship, sitting with my friendship, sitting with, my attempts at finding mentors in spiritual spaces and fraternal spaces and academic spaces, nigga, and athletic spaces, nigga. Like, I'm 36 years old. And while I know, I've had some really great influences in my life as far as men, one of the deep pains in my life is realizing that I have yet to say, hey, this is a man, or these are men that like I call mentors and people that I can lean on and people that have also found a vested interest in me to be able to disciple me in a certain way, right? And it's still a desire of mine, just being vulnerable. Like, it's still something that I pray that I'm able to experience in this life. And I've also accepted that in real time, spiritually, my nigga, I'm the elder, you know. And walking in elderhood as somebody who's been a young nigga my whole life and is aligned with that, youthful freedom, it's hard when at times, especially as the oldest sibling, and somebody that everybody looks to for responsibility. Sometimes you just want somebody to be like, nah, nigga, do this, go this way. You know what I'm saying? Which has really tightened me up spiritually and tightened up my spiritual practice. And I don't know. I think it just pushes me to forces me to come on here and really ask the question is like, at what point do we really study the black as much as we want a black savior, and right, we want a Malcolm X, we want a Martin Luther King, we want a Huey Newton. At what point do we read the books and actually look at what these niggas were saying? Because to have these figures, these figureheads, and for us to always go back and quote and look at, the times of old and civil rights, like, was you niggas really reading what they were saying? Like, Huey Newton was really questioning his fragile masculinity and saying, hey, maybe I'm fucked up for only being okay with this version of homoeroticism when it comes to women, but as it relates to men, that might threaten. I think that might threaten. It threatens who I see myself as. It threatens my identity. Why I speak about it in the way that I do, and that's courage. That's bravery for somebody who at the time was a symbol, of black masculinity, of strength. For him to say, you know what, perhaps I'm homophobic, my nigga. Perhaps I could do better. And it's just something I sit with, bro. Like, how many of us just need to admit that, hey, man, guess what? Maybe I need more facts. Maybe I need more information. Maybe I can do better. Maybe I can sit with this shit a little bit more and not isolate myself in a white man's land that's gonna turn me back into a slave as soon as they get the fucking chance. So while we sitting here laughing, my daughter was telling me about one of the boys at school that got in trouble because he told a Hispanic student, hey, some bullshit about a parents getting deported and some other shit. And I went in like, I'm glad his ass got suspended, whatever the fuck happened. But nigga, they deporting black people too. They deporting all your folks. They deporting, again, if you gonna laugh again about what's being done to one marginalized community, my nigga, do you not realize is in mid laugh they'll come and take your ass too? They'll flip the script and flip the rules on your ass too. But that goes back into us understanding our history, understanding what got us in this condition. So impressing upon your children, impressing upon these black boys, man. I seen some young boys out there selling water at the store, and they, what up, big bro? Like, first off, sir, I need you to address me as sir. I'm old enough to be a motherfucking daddy. You're in the fucking third grade. You a child. Give a fuck how I look out here. Address me as such. I'm sir. Right. And I sat there and I talked to him. I said, hey man, I gave him some money. I said, hey man, what's your favorite book? Are y'all reading? Like, what are y'all doing? You know what I'm saying? It's in a situation where y'all are out here unsupervised. And to me, it raises up a lot of passion and fire in me because I know for a fact that there is a black man around them that in some way, shape, or form is not standing in the space to really lead them. And it breaks my heart because I'm like, I was that young nigga who older men was looking at in some way as a threat. And that's the shit again where it goes back to this perversion of white masculinity that says that a healthy version of masculinity is just competition. It's like, no, we're competing against the forces of evil, my nigga. We're not competing against each other. You see what I'm saying? Like, sports and games is one thing, but when you make this shit spill into everything, and now it's like, oh, now we just competing in spaces where we supposed to be collaborating, and goddamn everything is about who got the biggest dick and who got the most motion and who got the motherfucking most money on. It's like, brother, brother, what the fuck? Like, my divinity ain't never had shit to do with my money on, because when I walk into a room, everybody gonna stop and stare and wonder who the fuck is he? Because I walk in with, again, a crowd of witnesses. I'm walking in with an army behind me, and I know that, right? The highest form of masculinity is one rooted in spirituality. And that's the one thing the white man is trying to take from you by having you convinced that money is God, that this currency, that this little paper that you can light a fire to is God. And it's not. It's just fucking not. So for all the ways, yeah, I'm working to get myself financially stable. Get what? I'm doing that shit so we can build safety for community. Because if I'm the most able-bodied, if I'm the strongest in the space, if I'm the one that can do, and I know that I have community members that are unable to perform in a way that gives them a chance at survival. Guess what it looked like for me? Guess what I've been doing for the past 10 to 15 fucking years? Speaking truth to power and sacrificing comfort so that I can show up for the people that I care about and love. Get what? I don't need a pat on the back for that shit. I used to want one back in the day. You know, I used to be fucked up about it. Like, damn, why these niggas don't give a fuck about me? Guess what? Because they don't give a fuck about themselves. Because they don't know that they're worthy of care. They're worthy of love. They don't see themselves as victims in this violent ass environment, in this violent ass society, in this violent ass land we call America, right? Niggas really want to just do just enough to be able to get next to them white boys and be like, hey, yo, shit, I'm with you on that shit, man. I don't know what them niggas on, but look, shit, I'm with you, you know what I'm saying? Long as the performance of masculinity, that shit is the fucking devil, dog. Like, I learned more about being masculine from women who had the whole shit down than from men. And I'm healing around the reality of what it means to trust men, because I'm trusting myself now. Most of y'all niggas that want to perform for other niggas don't even trust the niggas you performing for. You don't like these niggas, you don't fuck with them at all. You see what I'm saying? Because as every man, you know who they gonna call when they get in the jam. More times than not, 9.5 times out of 10, it's a woman. It's your mama. It's the person you sleeping with. It's your baby mama. Even though you don't care about her, she know your shit. She know your business, right? She know your intimacies. So I think about that. It's like we doing all this performance and we don't even love ourselves enough to be honest with ourselves about the condition that we in. All right. And again, that's why I'm so isolated by my motherfucking self. Cause I have done the performing. Nigga, I can get an Emmy for this shit, man. Goddamn. I could goddamn get all the awards for the levels of social performance that I have committed in my life to say, get what? It didn't give me nothing. It got me nothing. Cause as soon as I said, hey man, don't do that. As soon as I said, no, I want to protect women, man. Cause I think that ain't that what they said in the frat we supposed to do? Ain't that what they said? Ain't that what they said in the Bible? Like this Bible, y'all, this Christian manhood, y'all niggas talking. Ain't that what they say we supposed to be doing? Like, what the fuck is this? You know what I'm saying? What the fuck is this assault and abuse going on? Like, what the fuck is y'all putting y'all hands on these women? Like, for real? This is just we just gonna do this shit on Tuesday, huh? Right? And that's socially acceptable. But the worst thing you can do is consensually have sex with another man, right? But you can unalive your partner. You can beat the bitch up, right? Man, y'all niggas some hoes. And y'all niggas some fuck niggas. That's the gay shit. That's the whole shit. Right? You know what I'm saying? Like we're talking demeaning, right? That's the fuck shit for real. Cause that ain't no God in that, dog. Ain't no God in that, dog. And I hope all you niggas, all you rapists, all you motherfuckers that think it's okay to beat women, dog. I got partners, man, or former partners and niggas I grew up with that really done came in my face and been like, man, I had to whoop the hoe. And I'm looking like, bro, you know that's not okay. And mind you, I'm talking to killers. Like I'm talking to niggas that's sitting down in the feds. I'm talking about niggas who really got bodies, right, in real time. And telling niggas, dog, that's not okay, dog. But shit, man, I do what I had to do. So I'm having to find the balance. And again, it's not culture. It's not just the music and shit. No, some of us have real relationships with abusive ass niggas. Some of us have had to sacrifice real protection, real allegiance, real perks of masculinity by speaking up against the fuck shit. But for a lot of you intellectual niggas that just be on the internet talking about how, this is what it means to not align with toxic masculinity. And I grew up not, necessarily being good at sports and not being like, get what? Some of us motherfucking did. And some of us was able to be in the gifted program doing this. And at the same time, once we left school, was outside with the niggas doing hood rat shit with our fucking friends. And so now let's talk about what it means to actually sit back and observe all the aspects of masculinity and look at all the sacrifices for some of us who really can go in the trap with no scrap and be safe. Because I'm the nigga that most niggas is scared of. So I'm not moving around like, you know what I'm saying? I'm moving around knowing I'm the threat to most of these niggas. Most of y'all niggas scared with the pistol. Don't even know how to shoot the motherfucker for real. Right? I walk around with this shit. I walk around with knives and machetes and shit because that's a part of my spirituality. But in real time, it's like, yeah, nigga, most of y'all niggas is scary. So when you was raised in certain environments, you understand how to move. We get to the internet and now it's the intellectualizing of masculinity. And I'm sorry, it's unpopular opinion, but a lot of this shit is performance. And a lot of this shit to me is niggas who really was never desired and never chosen early on. That now, because all the hoes like, oh, go listen to him, go talk to him. He's safe. Yeah, cool. Not saying he's not saying something worth listening to, but yeah, I want us to slow down a little bit and interrogate actions, interrogate past performance. Who your people? Who you been vetted by? Who done seen you at your lowest and can know how you talking, how you moving when you ain't got the stain, when you ain't got the shine, when you ain't got shit? What harm have you caused that you've actually had to, you know what I'm saying, be, be in retribution for, like actually do some damage control and fix in some real way, shape, or form? Because I know I done caused harm. I know I ain't shit. I done wrote a couple books talking about how I wasn't shit in my life, right? And so moving from this place of radical honesty is like, yeah, I done had to do the work to release the shame. That performance prison is what keep y'all niggas with that shame monster on your motherfucking back. That's what got Diddy ass. Diddy, man, this nigga the most power. And I ain't never really talked about this shit, bro, but that shit break my fucking heart. Because if you know me, bro, I grew up really loving that black man, bro, and seeing his gender, really his balance of the masculine and the feminine as a fucking model for what it can mean to just be a radical self. When in reality, as I looked at my shadows and saw all the just the hypersexualization of my own experience, I'm realizing in the spiritual how that nigga influenced all of us to be deviant as fuck and not tell the truth about it. He's a part of the major influence of this DL shit, man. When in reality, that nigga could have just been as queer and as free as he wanted to be, and niggas would have still fucked with him because he's motherfucking Diddy, right? So think about what this shit really means for us to embody the perversion versus liberate ourselves from this shit. Like normally these lives I've been trying to stick to about 20, 25 minutes. But clearly I'm on the bro tonight because this shit just been on my spirit, bro. I really want to see black men be free. I really want to see us like detached from this fucking performance. The performance is not Oscar worthy, nigga. It's just not. You niggas is not doing a good job. You niggas is not creating safety for your children or the women that you say you love. When in reality, it's all to impress or to goddamn compete against other men. If you were really sitting with the love that you have in your life, you wouldn't feel the need to perform so motherfucking much. You wouldn't feel the need to do all of this back and forth, all of this goddamn, you know what I'm saying? All of this, all all of this extra to put yourself on a pedestal with the white man, to put yourself on a pedestal with the perversion. Really, that's what it is. It's a fucking perversion. The divine masculine, for a lot of us, we don't even understand what that entails. We don't understand what it means to sit still. The past couple episodes, I've been talking about my stillness, my nigga. I've been talking about my discipline coming back. I've been talking about me meeting a version of myself again that loves myself, loves the shadows, forgives myself, sits with what it means to be safe, sits with what it means to trust spirit and to trust the process and to trust God's path for my life, even at a time where I feel like my flesh feel like I deserve more. I deserve more in this capitalistic system. I deserve all the seeds I done planted, all the work I done did, all the shit that I built, and all the just again, it's like you planting seeds for other people's harvest. But guess what? For all of y'all nigga that swear y'all Christian, man, go read a motherfucking book, huh? Really go sit with your prophets. You know what I'm saying? Alhamdulillah, nigga. For all of y'all that's Islamic, nigga, go read the Quran. Go sit with the prophets. Go sit with all of the teachers. Go sit with the martyrs and all the folks that came before you that wasn't trying to align to this perversion. They really was sitting with their divinity and what it meant to be a man of the creator, to be a man of God, to be somebody who followed the universal laws, right? And created safety for all. Not that bullshit that we be on, bro. Cause the performance is is killing us. It's keeping us in prison like a motherfucker. I said this shit again. I'm gonna say it again. You can't pause me, nigga. When I talk about, you know what I'm saying, me aligning with my queerness, me aligning with certain shit, nigga, you can't pause me. You can't challenge me because the same motherfuckers that would try you away from your face is the same ones that's afraid to look themselves in the mirror. The same ones that's afraid to really sit with their radical honesty and their radical truth. And that's just real, you know. So I don't know. This time has been so important for me because it has shown me that I'm not afraid of meeting myself. It's not necessarily about like being. I think that's something that I've wrestled with in the past. Is like I want to be, you know, I want to cite my sources and I want to have, you know what I'm saying, all the intellectual breakdowns that I see on the internet, and that's not what this is. I'm in a space where I'm being charged and I'm being, you know, compelled to be something different, compelled to show something different, and it's not easy. You know, it's not easy to walk this path. So for anybody watching, you know, I pray that you're able to get something from this. I pray that if anything you can see the black masculine in this form, really doing some hard ass work, dog. Really sitting in a space where I'm like really trying to like, yeah, to create something new for us, my nigga. I never want to feel as bad as I felt when I put myself in harm's way. You bust that nut and then you get up out that shit and you be like, man, what the fuck I just do? When you like you make that play, you make that move, or like you goddamn slime a nigga out, or you do some shiesty shit. But in the rules of this version of masculinity, it's socially acceptable. You know how your spirit feel when you do that shit? That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the performance and the prison of performance that I feel like a lot of us as black men, we need to liberate ourselves. Break them chains, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying, dog. So yeah, man. Break them motherfucking chains. Thank you so much. You know, I gotta show up, man. I got some real love in my life. I got some people in my life who have reminded me that I'm so worthy of care, that I'm so worthy of love, and I can't do nothing but really, really like, sit with that and honor that. And I pray that, yeah, whoever watches this shit just realize, like, man, the creator wanted so much more for us. If they didn't get, like they went. I don't think the creator was thinking about goddamn 401ks and niggas stock options and being day traders and shit. I think the creator was looking at us really being in relationship with the land, in relationship with our fellow man, in a way that really speaks to heaven. You know what I'm saying? Heaven on earth, and us being more a part of the human experience, versus. So I think for all of y'all niggas that feel like the black man is God, my nigga, do better. Cause ain't no God behavior coming from this shit I'm saying. Like I'm sitting in Atlanta right now and I just got word that another one of our icons and cultural, icons in the city, Young Scooter, nigga might, have transition, and if so, he by here told new man, like it touched a nigga dog because for all my desire to be outside, to be moving, to have the money on, to be in the spaces, dog, I'm thinking about what it means for me to pop back out of this season of solitude without integrating the wisdom of knowing what is safe and what is not, right? And I think about how our commitment to the performance just continues to put us in harm's way up until that harm catch up with a nigga. And now it's what? Now your kids ain't got no daddy. Now we in a space where it's like, yeah, do the fucking means justify the end, dog? Like, fuck no. If you mean premature, is if it just means premature death and us not actually living our destinies, hey man, I'm not with that shit. I'm trying to live long. Like parts of this shit can be born. Every day ain't gotta be eternal. Every day ain't gotta be goddamn. Like, cause spirit gonna give you something you need if you still enough to sit with it. And I just pray that, as I call in the people and the men that can watch me and sit in front of me, man, I just pray that you're able to sit with this shit. Look at yourself in the fucking mirror. Don't be scared of what you find, my nigga. Being gay ain't the worst shit in the world. Being a fuck nigga is, I swear to God. Like being somebody your mother can't be proud of and your people, your daughter and your kids actually are scared of and don't fuck with. Like that's a way worse, my nigga. Like being loved on or loving people who love you back, like gender neutral, my nigga, ain't that's not the fucking abomination. The abomination is this performance shit that we got going on. So yeah, man. Call it what you want to call it. I had to come on with the white tea today, man. Because yeah, I just had to talk some shit. I love y'all. Yeah, I'm gonna go back and sit down. Hopefully I get to talk to my lover tonight. You know what I'm saying? Fine self. But yeah, man, I really love us for real, dog. I want us to do better, my nigga. So black man, free yourself from the performance prison, dog. We deserve better. We deserve real liberation. Do the knowledge, like my nigga Deontay Kyle say, Grits and Ed podcast. Do the fucking knowledge, nigga. Go read some shit, right? I promise you, history is just repeating itself, and it's gonna be worse because you niggas don't read. So go read some shit, dog. I love y'all. Take care of yourself, man. Good night, man. Have a great fucking weekend.